Okay. Little fan theory here. I just found out that Marvel is currently filming Captain America: New World Order. Um, so, which is mostly going to be a Hulk movie because 80% of the cast members are Hulk characters with Captain America, except it's Steve Wilson. Okay, everyone on board so far. Cool. So, there's been rumors floating around, and it's mostly because fans just hate Professor Hulk or Smart Hulk. That fans just don't want Bruce Banner to be Smart Hulk anymore. And I don't blame them. I get why they did that in Endgame, but I like me Savage Hulk, man. Savage Hulk is, much more entertaining. Like, I want to see Hulk smash stuff. No pun intended. So, there's been rumors floating around that Hulk's next movie appearance is going to fix that. So, Captain America: New World Order is like the next Marvel movie in line, I believe. I could be wrong there. No, aside from Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it's Guardians of the Galaxy and then New World Order. I don't know. I don't know what Kevin Feige's plan is. I did see it when it was first released, but I've forgotten it since then. So, it's been rumored that Captain America 4 is Hulk's next movie appearance. And with that, it's also rumored that that is going to revert Hulk back into two separate identities. Because Hulk does have two separate identities. He's got Bruce Banner, he's got the Hulk. There's two separate people essentially. So, but then obviously in Endgame they kind of just like, oh yeah, let's put those two personalities together. You got the brains and the strength, there you go, and you got Professor Hulk. So again, I understand why they did that for Endgame, but it just felt weird for me. Like, it was. Don't get me wrong, it was still fun to see, Mark Ruffalo act like Hulk in Hulk form because I thought that was funny. Where they do the Avengers 1 scene and he sees his past self just smashing everything, like to the overkill extent, and he's just like, like I thought that was funny for me, but I get why they did that for that. And then I did watch all of She-Hulk. It was I don't think She-Hulk was as bad as people said it was. Most of the people who didn't like it were just adult man babies who were pissed because She-Hulk was getting more spotlight than Hulk was, but the show was called She-Hulk, so duh, of course she's going to get more spotlight. But I don't think She-Hulk was as bad as people said it was. It was definitely not the best Marvel show at all. I haven't even watched all the Marvel shows, okay? I still have to watch Loki. I still have to watch, Daredevil. I finished Daredevil. Kept Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I did watch bits and pieces of WandaVision, but I didn't really care for WandaVision all that much because I just didn't really care to see it. I know I need to see it. I still have Thor: Love and Thunder to finish. I still have Ant-Man and Quantumania to finish, or actually watch. I haven't actually done anything with it yet. I refuse to watch Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, whatever. It was Miss Marvel. I refuse to watch that movie or show or whatever because I never liked Kamala Khan as a character. Because it's just a lazy excuse to give you a new Inhuman who can also sometimes look like Captain Marvel. It is beyond ridiculous to me, and the show just doesn't look that interesting to me. I know there's a couple of people out there that's like, oh, it's not that bad. Okay, fine. Not that bad. Anyway, so with that being said, if this does happen, and Hulk does go back to being Savage Hulk, which is my preferred version of the Hulk, what I think they should do, because they are bringing back 2 actors who played in the Incredible Hulk movie, which is highly underrated. If you have not seen that movie, please check it out. It does not have Mark Ruffalo in it. It has Edward Norton as Bruce Banner, but it is still an underrated movie, even though Edward Norton does not do anything to help that movie. I actually thought my honest opinion, I think Edward Norton actually effed up that movie to an extent, and that's why people don't like to see that movie, because Edward Norton was like he was the worst part of that movie. I mean, that's just me. Edward Norton was not the best part of that movie. It would have been so much better if it was Mark Ruffalo, and what's sad is that's the director's first choice was Mark Ruffalo for that movie, or for that role, and Mark Ruffalo nailed that role in Avengers and has been since. So, anyway, if this is going to play out, it's bringing back Betty Ross, it's bringing back the leader after years freaking waiting on the leader to show up. The leader is supposed to be this gigantic Megamind style head guy who, in some versions of the comics, I do know this, he does have some kind of telepathic power. That is usually what the gamma radiation does for him. So, and at the very end of the Incredible Hulk movie, his head does start to bubble when the Hulk's blood gets into his cut that he has on his head thanks to the Abomination. And I know I've seen the set photos, so nobody go pointing out, oh, he doesn't actually have a big head yet. He just has green arms. Yes, I'm well aware of that. But that also could just be what he could do to make himself look normal. He was able to suppress that part, and just as a result of him slightly looking normal is green hands. Okay, that's fine. That's not unheard of. But eventually, obviously, that would revert back, and he would get the big bubble head. And then, if he does have the telekinetic powers or telepathic, mind thing or whatever, he could easily split the two. He could easily split Bruce and Hulk out of each other's heads, and then they become 2 separate beings once again. Or two separate minds once again, which would bring back Savage Hulk. I would love to see that, but it would, to me, that would make the most sense, because you have Sam Wilson's Captain America, doing his thing. He's teaming up with the Hulk, because the Hulk, Mark Ruffalo is supposed to be in this movie. I do know that, because it's supposed to be a Captain America Hulk team up movie. So, and it makes sense because half of Hulk's villains are in there too. So it would make the most sense. General Ross is supposed to show up. Unfortunately, it's not William Hurt, because unfortunately the actor did pass away in real life. But it's supposed to be Harrison Ford, which I'm not sure why Harrison Ford chose that role or signed on to it, aside from possibly more money, because he just does not seem like the type of role that he would take. Whatever. But in the comic books, Red Hulk is General Ross. And since General Ross is confirmed to show up in this movie, he could possibly Hulk out somewhere. And, maybe try to threaten the leader for his intelligence, because, the leader is still very smart. They do touch upon that in the Incredible Hulk, that he is a very intelligent person outside of that big head, or even before that big head, and it wouldn't be that outlandish. If he tried, let's just say General Ross wants to get rid of Red Hulk. What if he wants to get rid of Red Hulk? Similar to Bruce did. He doesn't like it. But even though in the comic books, General Ross had a slightly more control over the Hulk, or his Hulk versus Bruce did, but that's neither here nor there. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal to have, Red Hulk, Hulk out or whatever, and then all of a sudden he like threatens the leader. It screws up his consciousness or whatever, and the leader reverts back to his big Megamind head, and then going from there is able to split, Professor Hulk's head essentially in half, and have Hulk and Bruce, two separate characters or two separate minds once again, and you bring Savage Hulk back. Because there's also fan theories and stuff going around that like Hulk is tired of fighting, he's tired of doing this stuff, just that for the last second stuff. I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. There's another fan theory that I've heard where Hulk's radiation levels have depleted. So Hulk isn't as strong as he used to be. That's why he lost to Thanos. And all this is just some stupid excuse to have Marvel fans just pissed off with Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios on making the Hulk weaker. So, and again, it does make sense, but my thing was in Infinity War, when Hulk gets his ass handed to him by Thanos, Thanos is not using any of the Infinity Stones. He's just simply whooping Hulk's ass. And, which I love you, Hulk, but, Thanos kicked your butt. But, in Thor Ragnarok, they say that Bruce has been the Hulk for 2 years. Now, the Hulk's mind was not as developed. Now, this is just my theory on that particular part and why I'm hoping they bring Savage Hulk back at some point. But they basically say that Hulk has been the Hulk for 2 years. So he would learn how to talk better. He would learn how to do stuff eventually. He would kind of pick that stuff up. And that's why he's able to talk almost full sentences in Ragnarok whilst in Hulk form. So, and also, Hulk has the mind of a 2-year-old. So, they show that in Ragnarok when, him and Thor are arguing or whatever, he's just going like this and just acting like a 2-year-old. That is 100% something a 2-year-old would do. Back to Endgame, when Hulk gets his butt kicked and refuses to come out, he doesn't want to come out because he doesn't want to come out. He's gotten the shit kicked out of him and he's afraid of Thanos. That's a 2-year-old thing to do. That's just my theory on that part. Now let's go back to them splitting up each other again, or Savage Hulk coming back. So, like I said, that would be my best guess. Is like, if it's some stupid reason with gamma radiation or whatever, and that's how Hulk is weaker. Okay, fine. If you're going to do it that way, then have the leader have some kind of device that will bring back and re-gammonize or re-energize Hulk, essentially. And then, heck, you could do it that way. Have, like, Bruce or whatever get thrown into a gamma radiation chamber. But since he's Hulk, it doesn't hurt him. It just fuels the Hulk, bringing back Savage Hulk, kicking Banner into the passenger seat while Hulk takes the wheel, and then you can have them revert human form, monster form, human form, monster form, just like it was beforehand. And if you really wanted to go that far, provided how much gamma radiation could be in this chamber, whatever. I mean, obviously, there's nothing is confirmed. This is just a massive fan theory. It could revert him back to what he was in Incredible Hulk. With a lot of the cast and crew, or at least a lot of the casting back, from the Incredible Hulk, it would make sense to have some of the crew that worked on the Incredible Hulk back for this movie, because obviously, they did such a good job for the first movie, and this is basically Hulk 2 with Captain America thrown into it, that I can kind of see them doing it that way. So, again, this is all fan theories, nothing is confirmed. So, aside from casting is the only thing that's confirmed in this video, everything else is just speculation and fan theory. So, let's just say, like, Red Hulk and, Bruce are fighting, or Smart Hulk are fighting, and then all of a sudden he gets knocked into a gamma chamber or something with gamma radiation in it, and that kind of acts like an adrenaline rush for Hulk, reverting him back into his Savage Hulk form, kicking Bruce Banner into the passenger seat of the car, and just having Hulk behind the wheel the whole time. So I can 100% see something like that happen. Or like I said earlier, the leader does have some kind of telekinetic powers, and a lot of times in the comic books, maybe he could use, say kidnap Smart Hulk, because it is technically Bruce's fault that the leader ended up the way he did. I mean, yes, it's mostly Abomination's. Don't get me wrong. It is 100% Emil Blonsky's fault. But if Banner hadn't been sending blood samples to, well, I'm just going to call him Mr. Blue. If he had been sending those to Mr. Blue, he wouldn't have had to recreate the blood, and he wouldn't have had that go into his head, causing him this deformity or both, and that would be a good motivation thing for the leader to try to take down Smart Hulk. And when you did this to me, you were still a monster, and now you're all big and smart or whatever. Let's put you back. Let's dumb you down to what you used to be. I can again 100% see that happening, because it does make sense. In a way, it is Bruce's fault that Mr. Blue became, the leader. It is his fault that Blonsky eventually became Abomination. Now that's more so Ross's fault, but that's beside the point. Because of Blonsky wanting, to be, well, in his words, the next Captain America or whatnot, they gave, the military gave him the super soldier serum, but he wanted more, and he became the Abomination. But if they didn't have Hulk's blood to do that, then, technically, Abomination would never have happened, and Mr. Blue would not have become the leader. So, I can 100% see all three of these fan theories possibly coming true, because, the gamma radiation, whatever, Hulk getting knocked into it, the gamma radiation acts as like a, adrenaline rush or whatever, repower the Hulk or whatever to bring back Savage Hulk. I can see that. That's one fan theory. Second, leader's telekinetic power thing. I know that's something that happens in the comic books. They probably will do something like that for the movie. Maybe not necessarily, telekinetics, but he'll definitely have that big bubble head that wasn't teased all the way in 2008 for nothing. So that's two theories that could happen. So, obviously the leader could, use his mind or whatever, Professor X style, and then peel Bruce and Hulk apart mentally so they revert back to what they were. That's two theories. I can 100% either see either one of those two theories working, or either two. Sorry, I didn't mean to flip anybody off if I did. I was trying to do this or like that, and it didn't work all that well because I'm not coordinated enough in my left hand. Anyway, so I can 100% see at least those two theories being possible. But then I think the biggest one that they'll go with, because Marvel always likes doing the revenge storyline type stuff, or at least from the ones that I've seen, is, because of Hulk and because of Bruce, leader became the leader because he had to recreate Bruce's blood, and he had an entire stockpile of it because he was that invested into it. And because of Abomination being power hungry, it led to the leader getting infected with his own stuff. So, and they even touch upon that in the movie, in the first Incredible Hulk movie. He's like, well, you didn't send me much, so I had to concentrate it and make more. So, does that mean that, that entire warehouse is all obviously Bruce's DNA, but at the same time, if, Bruce didn't contact Mr. Blue or anything, or he tried to figure it out by himself like he usually does in the comic books, he would not have become the leader, because he wouldn't have had someone sending him radioactive blood samples that he would then have to, concentrate, make more of, and then all of a sudden have this crazy, military guy come in and say, hey, I want you to inject me with that stuff. I want Hulk's power. I don't care what it does to me. I don't care what it does to you either. If Hulk wasn't in the picture, or if Bruce never started sending in those samples, he wouldn't have become the leader. And he wouldn't have green forearms, because that's exactly what the set photo is. He's on set, he's got green hands. You know, again, that could be just a thing that is making him normal. Like, you know, I'm sure eventually he'll get that big head. But, you know, maybe he's able to use his mind, his telekinetic mind, to suppress that, and just the slight side effect is he has green hands. So, again, 3 different theories. Most likely, none of them are going to be true, but I can 100% see at least all 3 of them possibly happening. At least the first 2. The first 2, I feel like those are the most plausible. The third one, I don't know about that revenge storyline, but hey, it could work. I can 100% see that. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited to see Captain America New World Order when it's a Hulk movie? And are you guys excited for, hopefully, Savage Hulk to come back? Because I know there's hundreds of thousands of Marvel fans who hate what they have done to the Hulk character. And I don't blame them. Again, I get why they did that for Endgame. I just don't understand why they kept it. So, but there's rumors going around that Savage Hulk will come back in the next Hulk movie appearance, which would be Captain America New World Order. So, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys all later. Bye.